Welcome everyone to another podcast on the decree. Today, I'm excited for what we're going to be talking about. I have a guest here with me, one of my good friends with a very interesting name. His name is H. And H, I'm excited to have you here today. And I look forward to what we'll be talking about today. What do you have to say to these people?
Well, first to you, I want to say
Yeah.
thanks for having me. I've seen a couple of your podcasts, and I just want to let you know before we even get started that you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Yeah, and what you do, the world may not see the importance right now, but this is exactly what the world needs. People want to hear, people want to listen to it, and people want to learn new things. And so I'm excited. I look forward to the conversation today.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Today, I'm excited for what we will be talking about. H is joining me here today for some interesting thing that we've been discussing, both of us. And I think he brings a very unique perspective on this matter, considering his background and everything. So I just thought it was something that we can bring to you as an audience of young people, young dynamic leaders coming up into this society, to be able to learn from someone that already have the experience that you may be looking for. So H, this is gonna be an interesting conversation. Let's flow together
Sure.
and see how it goes. One of the things I wanna kind of like touch on here, and I have some questions here I'll go over and stuff, but then we can just dialogue about it and talk about this. So you've been in the government, right? You've worked with the government, you've worked in social services and all of that. And I think you have a very unique like perspective, as I said earlier, when it comes to the country back home, Liberia, but then also Africa as a whole, right? What's your heart behind it? What drives you when it comes to that?
First thing, I believe we all have an identity,
Hmm.
and we all owe it to where we come from, right? Uh, my father always said, "It's not where you go that matters most; it's where you
Hmm.
come from," right?
Hmm.
Because where you come from has bearings on your values. It has bearings on your belief system. It has value. It has bearings on uh, how you do things, where you do things, and to whom you do them.
Hmm.
Right. So if you hold on to those values, they kind of guide your future.
Yeah.
Right.
Hmm.
So, and to be honest, I love Liberia. I probably, if I was born in another country, I would have loved that country. But I loved Liberia,
Yeah.
and I'm currently not in Liberia, but trust me, my heart is in Liberia
Yeah.
every day.
Yeah.
I have traveled to a lot of countries,
Yeah.
and I wouldn't trade
Hmm.
them for Liberia because that's where I come from. So
Yeah.
uh, that the fact that I love Liberia so much, and it's a part of me because it just drives my everyday things I do, my processes, and everything. Because I mean, we can do so much for the world,
Yeah.
but if we can do it for where we're from,
Hmm.
that doesn't put a great score
Yeah.
on our legacy
Right.
or the things we did.
Right. Hmm. That's interesting. I mean, what's the old saying? The child who cannot like allow his parents to sleep won't be able to sleep
Yeah,
as
you will
well.
sleep.
Right. So
Yeah, because you got to be up to keep the
yeah,
parents
to get
up.
them
Yeah.
up.
Mhm.
So I think like it's really important for us to know where we come from and remember it, remember
Exactly.
our roots and everything.
Exactly.
And otherwise, it's like you can't have a like destination to
Yeah.
where you're going, without knowing where you're coming
Of
from.
course.
You know,
Of course.
so
And you will get there and they say where you come from, you'll be like,
Mm-hmm.
right, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But if you know where you come from and you
Yeah.
have a deep appreciation for where you come from,
Yeah.
then you have a purpose
Yeah.
for where you want to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. That's interesting. So I was there's been a couple of times now when people see me, they will assume that I'm from a different country, right? They will assume that I'm from a different country. And most of the time, it's because of my accent, right? I've been out of Liberia for a very long time. So the basic Liberian colloquial, like,
You lost it.
yeah, I kind of lost it a little bit when I'm talking to people. But also in my mind, I understand that, like, it's where I come from.
Right.
It's who I am.
Right.
I can't change that. I never chose,
Yeah. Of
like,
course.
to, like, where I was going to be born.
Right.
Right. That was like predetermined, right? And I think the fact that I came through Liberia, I think we were talking about this one few days ago, probably Sunday or so, but like when we were talking about how people generalize Africa, right?
Exactly.
Because you're black, they call you an African.
Yeah.
But no, I identify as a
I'm a
Liberian,
Liberian. Yeah.
right? And we talk about the fact that back then people were identified as nations, right? So if you called someone a Liberian, there were certain characteristics, certain things we knew about them. We knew that, hey, this is the type of food, these are the type of people, this is their culture and everything, right? And I feel like we've lost that as the time goes by, or maybe we've forgotten it. What do you think about it?
I think we've lost it.
Mm.
I think and it is arguable.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people have tried to debate me on this particular thing, and when I say modernization
Mm-hmm.
made us to lost a lot than we gained,
Mm.
and folks be like, no, that can't be true because modernization brought about technology.
Yeah.
Back in the days, they were in technology. Modernization is life. It made life easy because we got cars, we got trains, we got airplanes. Now we got phones that we can just dial someone. We got Google that. There wasn't Google when I was in high school, so I wish it was at the time. But now you can just Google the answers, right?
Yeah.
And I said, now you're mistaken, right? I'm not saying that what we have now is bad. I'm saying it made us lost the knowledge that we had. It's like you currently in 2025 with our history
Mm.
of where you were before 2025.
Mm. Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I appreciate the technology. I appreciate modernization. I appreciate everything that is happening around us. But I also appreciate where we came from before technology came in. And a lot of folks may not want to agree with me on this, but the sense of identity,
Yeah.
I'm not saying it brings, even though it has the propensity to bring up pride,
Yeah.
and it has the propensity to lead us to segregation and create class systems or class structures. But notwithstanding, we cannot do without identity.
Yeah.
Right? That is why you will hear somebody say, I'm a Zeze.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm proud to be a Zeze. That's
Yeah.
my last name. I'm from the
Yeah.
family of Zezes.
Yeah.
All right? I'm a Liberian.
Yeah.
I'm a Catholic. I'm a Methodist. I graduated from UL.
Yeah.
I'm an alumnus of UL. It's pride to identify with where you come from because you owe it to where you come from.
Right.
So as you embrace modernization and you embrace the new world and embrace technology, you can forget about where you come from. Otherwise, you more like a lost sheep.
Hmm. Hmm. Interesting. That is very interesting. You mentioned something about, the identity, and then, like, just with, like, knowing where we're coming from and how people build their own, like, identity and stuff.
Right.
And I just feel like we've become connected like technologically. Like we have technology that connects both of every one of us. We have technology that, the world is more connected now than
Right.
ever, right? However, on a personal level, it's like we are disconnected, right? It seems like the more connected the world has become, the less connected people
People
are,
become.
So I think that has played a big role on our identity, because now we see, I hear a lot of people complain about like slavery, they're slaves, but now because we've sort of like find ourselves in a position where our identity has been so like manipulated and sort of erased, to the point where I see us like striving for the identity of the slave master,
Exactly.
if that makes sense.
And I've said this before. Like it or not, right? I do tell a lot of people, tell me your last name and I tell you what part of Liberia you're from. If you're Liberian,
Yeah.
tell me your last name.
Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tell you where you're from.
Yeah.
And in the old days, I know our parents before, like you would go to visit a friend of yours and they ask you, what's your name? Say, I'm H. H who? Zizi. Ah, okay. Are you Zizi who? And they will connect you.
Yeah.
And know where you were from. But nowadays it's become lost. And it's reached a point where finding it is difficult.
Yeah.
And I want to be very practical on this, right? I've been to large gatherings, large conferences and events with more than 2,000 persons or so. When a Ghanaian walked in, especially the first day of the conference,
Yeah.
when a Ghanaian walked in, you know the Ghanaian walked in. Because he walked in with his kante. When a Nigerian walked in, you know a Nigerian walked in because he is wearing his agbada. When a Liberian walks in, he's wearing navy blue suit, white shirt, and red tie. Sir, are you from America? No, I'm not saying it's bad, though. I'm not saying it's bad, right? But where are you from? And at the end of the day, when that Liberian in his navy blue suit, white shirt, and red tie stand with the Europeans or the Americans to talk, they're going to ask him, where you from? Because the clothes doesn't tell me you're not from us.
Yeah. Yeah.
So your appearance, even though you look like us, you're not from us. Where you from?
Yeah.
But they will not ask the Ghanaian where you're from, because they see the Ghanaian where he's from. So let's move beyond the clothing. Let's move to our socio-cultural value systems. What we know about ourselves, our food. I see that a lot of people now. Everybody say now it's fashion. Fashion has taken over the world. The way we dress, the clothes we wear. I mean, jeans, trousers, and t-shirts now. But look at some of the traditional weddings in Liberia. And I ask, are these Liberians? Say, yeah. So why are they dressed as Nigerians? Yeah. They're wearing our red beads.
Yeah.
They're wearing a red top hat.
Yeah.
That's not a pellet dressing.
Yeah.
Where's our country cloth?
Right.
Where's that country shirt? Where's that gown?
Right. Right.
Where's the cow tail? If you want to represent, why are you not? But do they even know what is it? Do they even know the traditional Liberian dance and attire? So yeah, it's done a lot. It's done a lot, and that's what I love talk shows like this and podcasts like this, to start to let people know who they are.
Yeah.
Appreciate where you come from.
Yeah.
And it allows you to be authentic.
Yep. Yep.
Right?
Yep.
When I I'm here in the U.S. and sometimes when I talk to people, they say, "Oh, where are you from?" I'm like, "I'm from Liberia." "Okay, I see you because you have an accent." I say, "You too have an accent.
Yeah.
You got an American accent."
Right.
Simple.
Right.
You won't blame me because
Right.
I speak in the way I speak.
Right.
I'm proud to be who I am. And the
Right.
same way you're proud to be who you are, let me be proud to be who I am as well.
Yep. Yep. And this kind of applies to, any parts of Africa.
Right.
It applies to any parts of Africa because I was driving one time and I just thought of something is like um the one of the side effect of colonialism was that we came to a point where, because the oppressor had done such a masterful job on the mind of the people that were being oppressed, to the point where they wiped their identity. And when you don't know who you are, anybody can put a price on you, right? Anybody can take a price tag and slap it on you. I was watching a comedy a while, and this lady, like, she was asking the guy, like, what's my price, right? Like, she showed a product to the guy and she asked him, what's the price of this? And she was like, oh, because I'm priceless. And then the guy was like, or because you're worthless, since there is no price.
Exactly.
Right. So I think the colonial master did a very good job at erasing the identity, to the point where, because we don't know who we are, we seek another identity. So we start to dress like other people. We start to act like other people. We start to behave like other people. And it gets to the point where, because we don't know where we are, I believe this is one of the, or who we are, I believe it's one of the main factor to the hindrance of our own advancement.
Exactly.
Right?
I will agree with you on that. Not knowing who you are sometimes, not sometimes, most times, doesn't give you a sense of purpose to pursue your own advancement.
Yeah.
Okay. And you're right. The colonial masters or the slave owners at the time, what they did was they did what they could to make slaves feel they were less human. All right. And these slaves, they cut them off from where they were from, had no connection to where they were from, couldn't practice the culture of where they were from, couldn't beat the drums they used to beat, couldn't sing their songs. They were forbidden to sing those songs, couldn't worship God in the way they worship God, couldn't do these things. And over a period of time, they forgot that older generation died off, the younger generation came on board, not having any idea as to where they're from. So when they're thinking going forward, it's like, where are we going?
Right.
And these people who were able to manipulate them over a long period of time and planted in them an identity that's not them. They didn't give them the identity though.
Yeah.
But they didn't give them their original identity as well. So they somehow fell in the middle.
Yeah.
And that middle is where you talk about the commodity on the shelf without a price tag.
Yeah.
If you go in Walmart right now and pick up an item without a price tag and bring it, that's the seller gonna
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
Right.
I don't know where where did you take it from? Who put it there?
Yeah.
Because I can't give it to you.
Yeah.
Because I don't even know whether you can afford it or not. So at the moment, what we're looking at is a worthless commodity. And that's what those who fell in the middle became. They couldn't go back to where they come from because they lost everything. They couldn't go forward because they were not welcomed in that
arena,
in that space. And even while we talk about colonialism and slave trade and all like that, I mean, I want to make it more practical here, right? Like, a lot of us right now, we're adults and we don't have a sense of pride
Mm.
in who we are and
Mhm.
where we come from.
Mhm.
And so we are unable to actually inform
Yeah.
our
Yeah.
children
Mhm.
about this.
Mhm.
So our children's going to grow up being fed something that
Yes.
it's not what they are.
Yeah.
You know, when you talk about people calling us Africans, you know, I said that once. I'm not an African, and someone asked me, "Is it offensive?" I'm like, not offensive from the person who is calling me an African,
Yeah.
but it's offensive from the concept
Mm.
that you think that the largest continent, the most diverse continent on earth, will be one people.
Yeah.
A continent that has variations of people
Yeah.
from skin tone, and I don't like to call it skin color,
Yeah.
from skin tone
Yeah.
to height,
Mhm.
to the tallest people, the shortest people, the
Mhm.
biggest people, the thinnest people, the smartest people.
Yeah.
I don't know whether we got the dumbest people, but sometimes I think we do. Right? How will you brand me as one? And I say,
Yeah.
it's the concept that I think is wrong.
Yeah.
And it's because we've generalized things too much, and we ourselves wear that generalized jacket,
Yeah.
and we put ourselves in a bubble
Yeah.
of a lost people.
Yeah. That's true. And kind of like just shifting here a little bit, and because of this, I think like institutionally, structurally, there are, this mindset is still within our political arena. It's still within the country. It's still within the mindset of the youth, the young people. If you could, assuming you were a surgical doctor, right, that is going to go into that arena to surgically like pinpoint something and like fix it, right? What would you target?
So first, we've built a narrative over the time. And, there's a saying that says, if the lie is told repeatedly, it sounds like the truth. Not that it is the truth,
Yeah.
but it sounds like the truth.
Yeah.
So, and I'm sure your question is talking more about Liberia,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
If I were to go, I would first say, how do we redo the narrative? How do we change what we have said for too long? For an example, I managed the President's Young Professionals Program in Liberia,
Yeah.
a program that worked towards strengthening public service capacity
Yeah.
by building the next generation of leaders.
Yeah.
So we targeted young, bright, and talented college graduates,
Yeah.
and we placed them in the government. Our mindset, and that's what I want us to go to when I say change the narrative. Our mindset was, while you think young people are good for nothing, we can prove to you that the answer for Liberia's problem is the young people.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to be mean when I say here the older generation will soon be wiped out.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to like wipe them out, but age comes. And as age comes, people go.
Yeah.
So how do we prepare the next generation to take over? Is first making them know that the myth we have carried for long is not real. I think you've heard this before, that young people are the problem.
Absolutely. We hear it all the time. Yeah.
Young people are the problem. Well, if you want to have a riot, bring the young people. They know how to burn cars. They know how to burn houses.
Yeah.
They know how to burglarize a store and loot that store. And so the older generation have prayed, and I'm saying this with I'm intentionally saying this.
Yeah.
The older generation have preyed on the younger generation for too long. It's about time the younger generation sees the future Liberia as what they do and not what the older people are doing.
Right. Right.
Right? And so if you think about it as what you do, then you know you got to start thinking about it differently.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Right? If the people were corrupt and you found out that corruption has undermined your country's development to the point where you're the richest, you're amongst the richest countries in the world with minerals, but yet still you are the poorest. If you can identify what is wrong, then you start changing your mindset, and
Right.
that will come with a narrative. We got to
Right.
talk about it.
Right.
We got to talk about integrity. We got to talk about credibility. We got to talk about transparency. We got to talk about you being the change you want to see,
Yeah.
quoting Barack Obama.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, the change you want to see isn't someone else. It's
Yeah.
you.
Yep.
And if you see yourself as the change that you want to see, then you got to start cultivating a different approach
Right.
towards it. Otherwise, you're going to walk the same path the others walk and expect to see something different.
Yeah.
So it's about time that we have these conversations.
Yeah.
And when we have these conversations, we intentionally have these conversations
Yeah.
with the mindset of it's messed up
Yeah.
and we want to fix it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not that we want to come and tweak.
Right.
No, it's messed up.
Yeah.
We want to fix it. So to fix it is we got to start talking about how we fix it.
Yeah.
What do we look at? What do we identify? How is that working?
Yeah.
Why isn't it working? And we can do a lot for that.
Yeah. It reminds me of the children of Israel, right? The nation, and basically, when they were brought out of slavery, which I think it's a perfect analogy for Liberia, having gone through a time of war and all of that. And when they were brought out of slavery, there was something that happened, right? God was going to take them through the Philistines, but it says in the scriptures that he didn't take them through there because for fear that they would change their mind and go back to Egypt, right? So they say God God can do anything, but like God was unable to change the mind of the older generation, so he had to allow them to die in the wilderness to get the younger people out of them.
You see, and even speaking about that, if you want to make it more practical, it means that God could have just changed the mind of the older generation, but then the younger generation wouldn't have learned
Absolutely.
from the mistakes of the older generation.
Yeah.
So he allowed them make those mistakes.
Yeah.
So when the younger generation was coming in, they were identifying what went wrong.
Yeah.
They were identifying in the case of Liberia that corruption
Yeah.
is bad.
Yeah.
They were identifying in the case of Liberia that nepotism is bad. They were identifying in the case of Liberia that focus on one group of people and leave the other group of people. You know, in politics, yeah, I respect multi-parties politics, but after politics, I think it's only one people that can build the country. It is no more CDC, UP, and the party. If you enter into development with multi-party, you are still breaking up the country into pieces. That which we've been doing. So, like you said, you know, I usually tell people that first, every day is a good day to have a good day, right? Yeah, it's a good day to have a good day. And in every situation, in every circumstance, in every time of our lives, whether we went through the worst moment, there's a lesson to be learned. You know, in every devil, there's an angel. There's a lesson to be learned.
Mhm.
And the mistake we've made over and over in our part of the world, we come from Liberia, is that we didn't learn,
Mhm.
or we didn't pay attention,
Mhm.
or we think that the bad way of doing it is
Is it
beneficial to
beneficial?
us,
Yep.
so we go for it.
Yeah. That's interesting. The young rabbi Jesus said that um, a house divided against itself cannot stand, right?
Okay.
So when it comes to politics, yes, during politics you have all of these things and whoever wins. But one thing I admire about the United States is most people don't know this, but the United States is hugely run on the private sector. It is hugely run. The economy is boosted by the private
It's not
sector,
government,
right?
yeah.
It's a capitalistic like country and stuff. So people have dreams, they have ideas, and they're not waiting for people to fund them. They're not waiting for people to do this for them. They go ahead and start, right?
Right.
And I think that's one thing we need for our young people as a whole is I would say basically if I were to go or speak to people in that arena is like, yes, conditions may not be favorable, but like you said, within every storm you can you know see the benefit within it, the opportunity within it, and build something.
Right.
So as a young person, what I would say is the same advice that the first century writer Paul kind of talked about to his mentee Timothy, and said that do not see yourself as a young person, right? Don't see yourself as a young person, and don't devalue yourself as a young person, right? But what you should do is focus on these values that will build character, integrity in you, so that when you look at your parents, when you look at the people that are gone before you, yes, you will see their blind spots, but also know that like those same blind spots are in you too.
Right.
And you now have the responsibility to change it.
Right.
Right. And I think a lot of young people can do that and rise up and be able to change situations when it comes to that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I agree. They're able to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And you see, and that is what we need to do first. We need to identify, or we need to accept that they're able to do it.
Yeah.
And they need to tell themselves, I am able to do it.
Yeah.
That self confidence.
Yeah.
You know, I was just talking to a young man yesterday, and I told him, you know why before we go, when we used to go play games, we'll bring our hands together
Yeah.
and say, oh, yeah, and then we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, whoop.
Yeah.
There was that confidence, that whoop, that took us to the field.
Yeah.
So everything that I was doing on that field, it was that thing that I told myself I'm going to win this game.
Yep.
Right? So that's very important too. That
Yeah.
young people needs to see themselves now as the next generation of fixers.
Yeah.
Not leaders. We are leaders.
Yeah.
But it got a lot of leaders that destroy and not build.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we young people need to see themselves now as the next generation of builders and
Yeah.
fixers.
Yeah. Yeah.
And and in different ways,
Mm-hmm.
in the things to do, regardless of what area you want to fix, the entire place is messed up.
Yeah.
So healthcare fixers, we need them. Education fixers, we need them.
Mm.
Agriculture fixers, we need them.
Yeah.
Construction, infrastructure development, and every sector
Yeah.
we need them. So young people need to start looking at that as, okay, I am that builder.
Mm.
I am that fixer.
Yeah.
And if I do not fix it, it will not be fixed.
Yeah. And I think like one of the thing I noticed is it's the same mindset of like when it comes to what we pursue as careers. we think that one, like somebody that is a farmer is less of a person that is sitting in the office.
Right.
And everyone's going to college to graduate with big degrees so they can have the office job as well, right? When for me, when I look at things, is I often tell myself that the best investment I can make, number one, is in myself and in my family and in my children. But if I'm going to be able to like build inheritance, because what the like it says what like a good man leaves an inheritance for his children
Right.
and his children's children,
Right.
right? So I think, like, as a young person, I say to myself that my father's shoulder is what I'm standing on,
Mhm.
right? It may not be the foundation that I wanted to build upon, but at least there are some bricks,
Right.
right? There are some bricks.
Right.
And we can't rely on other people to do things for us. I think like Africa has been delivered, or Liberia as a whole has come out of slavery, but we are not prepared for freedom.
No,
You know,
I'm not even sure if we are out of slavery physically, but I don't
yeah,
think mentally
mentally we're still there.
we're still slaves.
Mhm.
You know, I was talking with my coworkers the other
Mhm.
day on Juneteenth, and the guy was like, "Oh, do you know that Juneteenth is where after the slavery was abolished and these slaves didn't know they were freed and they were still on the farm,
Mhm.
and I think it's the Union soldiers or a group of people who made them know that no, you're not slaves anymore, and so that's how they got free." And I said, "That's a nice one, but do they still know that they're not slaves?
Mm. Mhm.
You get what I mean?
Yeah.
What's their level of over dependence?
Mm.
What's their confidence in their ability?"
Yeah.
And so when we bring that to the Liberian setting,
Mhm.
do we see ourselves as less of a respectable person if we're making farms?
Right.
Do we see ourselves as less of a respectable person if we are carpenter
Mm.
or we are masoner who lays bricks?
Right.
Or we're this person who's digging the ground,
Right. Mm.
right? Have we come to a point where we realize as a people that the society is so diverse and we need a diversified
Mhm.
people to build one thing?
Yeah.
Let's look at the house that is being built.
Mhm.
Do we need a plumber? Do we need a carpenter? Do we
Right.
need a mason? Do we need
Right.
an electrician? Do we
Mhm.
need, and so you have to start seeing yourself as I am not a slave anymore,
Right. Right.
and because I'm not a slave, I'm able to do this, I can do this, I am
Yeah.
able to do this. Now, when you tell yourself I am able to do, that pushes you at least one step further than where you are right
Yeah.
now. And you can start pursuing
Yeah.
what you do. Unfortunately, that's not very strong in Liberia.
Mhm. Mhm.
That's not very strong. I mean, I think is there's a lot of change that have taken place in Liberia with young people being very proactive, young people coming up with a more developmental mindset.
Yep.
They're doing an awesome, incredible job in
Yep.
Liberia.
Yep.
But when you look at the average, it's still like 10%.
Yeah.
Where's the 90%?
Mhm.
Because at the end of the day, the 10% will not be able
Mhm.
to develop this country.
Yeah.
Where's the 90%?
Yeah.
What are the 10% doing so that the 90% can stand next to them
Yeah.
to do it, right?
Yeah.
And it's all about changing the mindset of the people,
Yeah. That's true.
making them see things
Mm.
differently.
That's true. Like basically, I think it all comes down to our mentality, and like how we see things, right? Our perspective determines everything, right? Because I read a story of two guys that went to India, right? They were both in college, and they went to India and they were sleeping in the same room, right? And when one of them looked out the window and he saw the people with walking with bare feet, he said, "Oh man, how are these people suffering? They're like walking with bare feet, barefoot all over the place. They're gonna get sick and all of this." His friend looked through the window and said, "Wow, that's a lot of feet for slippers."
I'm gonna start
Two
making
people,
slippers.
same environment, different perspective.
So things differently. Yeah.
Right? So I was talking with one of my friends and we did a podcast recently about, I, for one, growing up, I always believed that my location didn't matter, right? Because everything that I need is right within me. Everything that I need to be successful in life is right within me. So it doesn't matter how long I'm going to get there, but I am certain that eventually I'm going to get there.
Right.
And I think there is a false narratives when it comes to like the Western world and people coming over to the Western world, right? And I believe that there is something that's being sold that is called the American dream. And is there a dream in America? I don't know. I think there are opportunities, and it's an environment that basically amplifies who you are in the first place. And going back to us, like if you don't know who you are, then it's going to amplify the wrong spot. So, like, what would you say to someone that is basically in a position where they are so, it's sort of like they're desperate to come, they feel like the answer is here?
You know, I keep going back to, like you said, right, the false narrative. And I want you to know that this narrative was intentional, right?
Yeah.
It was intentionally crafted. And even though it's the false narrative, but it was crafted with a purpose, right? To give people a different image of what it is. Now, don't get me wrong. America is the greatest place on earth to live.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
It's the land of opportunities. It is based on the fundamental realization that America is a land of opportunity. That is why everybody in this country is in this country right now. This country became the melting point of the world. You know, and sometimes people say, "I'm an American." I'm like, "Yeah, where you came from before you became American?" Because everybody came here to become American, right? So it's a great place to come. But you see, when these people came in, they came in with a purpose. Who am I here? What do I want to become when I get here?
Yeah.
And when they migrated over to this part of the world, that purpose woke them up every day.
Yeah.
So they woke up every morning with a purpose. Right? Let's fast forward to where we are right now. Because of, like you said, perspectives, wrong perspectives, wrong imaging, social media has played a huge role in propagating this false image. Therefore, a lot of people, in fact, at that time in Liberia, everybody wanted to come to America. I mean, we all know it.
Right.
Every Liberian you ask, there are other great places in this world to be. Canada, the UK, Australia, Germany, Japan. There are a lot of great places, but and Liberian man would say America.
Right.
I think they even see America as one small country like Liberia, right? Now, social media has come in, and the new dispensation of materialized the driven population is also reinforcing a wrong image of America. Therefore, creating a expectation that's far from reality.
Yeah. Yeah.
So a young person pursuing the American dream and want to come here doesn't know that coming here is like coming to work 16 hours a day.
Right. Right.
But no,
Right.
no, no. No. I thought coming here was to wear nice shoes and wear nice shirt and pants like Ben. And drive a nice car.
Yeah.
And in a microwave.
Yeah.
And it's out. Open the fridge. Do you know how the microwave and the fridge and everything works? They work because you work. So what are you coming for? So I'm glad you brought this up. So the American dream still is a good dream.
Yep.
It's the dream that a lot of people, not only Liberians, want to have. But chasing the American dream, you have to chase it with a purpose.
Yeah.
And that purpose has to be the fundamental reason why you want to even come here.
Yeah. I wanna kind of like, when people hear the American dream, I think it's just a statement to people, but they don't really know what that means, right? So I want to kind of give you guys a definition of this, because I found myself in environments where I understood what the American dream is. And here is the thing. The American dream is basically the idea that you have the opportunity to become whoever you want to become.
Right.
And you have the vehicle to enable you to become that person. It's the freedom to be whoever you choose to be. I don't think you need America to be that.
Right. You don't.
Because when I started learning that definition, I was like, well, the freedom to be who I want to be, to do what I want to do, is not dependent upon a country. Yes, a country is basically a vehicle that it's basically like taking a flight versus driving a car, or you're walking versus riding a car. So it's the idea that when I am in America, it's like I'm on a flight.
Right.
Because it's possible that I might get to that destination faster.
Right.
But it's not the final determining factor to whether I'm going to get to my destination. That is the American dream when you hear that. And it's not the fancy cars. It's not the clothes, the toys, and all of that. It's the idea that you can become whoever you want to become without somebody putting a gun to your head.
Exactly.
Without going to prison. You have the freedom to speak your mind and say the things that you want to say.
Exactly.
Right.
I think like you said, it's an enabler.
Yeah.
It enables you. But that enabler it's not only found in America.
Of course.
And that is one of the things I want to drive to young people, especially in Liberia. You don't have to be in America to make it. All right? I mean, it's an opportunity to be in Liberia.
Yeah.
In America, I mean, let's just say it that way. It's an opportunity to be here, but it is not the only way.
Yes.
So it'd be like, put your life on pause, do nothing for yourself until you come in this country. No. Because if you are not able to pursue your dreams in Liberia, you won't be able to pursue them here.
Nowhere.
In fact, you'll be carried away here.
Absolutely.
Okay? It's not what you did or how you did it. It's the purpose for doing it. So if you're in Liberia and you have it will be good though if You had the opportunity to come here, but now that you don't have the opportunity, but you're in Liberia, what are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's based on that self-determination
Mm.
to do something that when you find yourself here into this land of great opportunities, will you be able to do something?
Yeah.
If you the person who thinks something's going to do itself without you, even you lived here in Washington D.C. next to the
man.
White House, you will be,
The bills are gonna kill you.
of course, you can't achieve anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as we kind of wind down here, I just wanted to kind of throw this in there. It's like, there's one thing I personally like. Obviously, I have my own goals and stuff and agenda that I'm pursuing. Right. I think every other continent has an agenda for this world,
Right.
except Africa.
I think Africa does have an agenda, but it hasn't. It knows its agenda, but it's not taking the steps
To do it.
towards being there. It's not taking the step to play the role it's supposed to play.
Well, expand on that.
Yeah. So, if only if only Africa come to the full realization of its capacity and its capability and what it has to contribute significantly to this world and develop itself, it will not. Until Africa realizes that the world depends on Africa.
Yeah.
Until Africa realizes that the mineral resources that we have that have been looted out of it for all these years should develop it and not other continents in this world, it will not. So it has an agenda.
Yeah.
It has a place among these continents. That is why when the other powerful nations gather to talk about the world, Africa is on the agenda.
Yeah.
Because Africa plays a critical role in everything they're talking about, but they see it, they recognize it, and they know it more
Than the Africans.
What we know.
True.
And even though we know it, but our intention towards stepping up to the plate and say, I am, is not there. So I think until that time reaches, until Africa knows that I am the number 9 in this game, and I am only here to score, it will not even make itself on that page.
I feel like Africa, Liberians, Sierra Leoneans, Ghanaians, Guineans, Nigerians, whatever nation we are within Africa, I see the continent as a whole like an MVP in a game, right? At this point that we are in, right? One of the things that one of my friend and I talked about is that the third world countries or continents are the only worlds that have not been messed up when it comes to ideologies of the world that are called themselves developed. We still hold true to the cultural values and the standards and the things that we have. And that's one thing I had to always like constantly catch myself on is don't lose the values and the qualities that you've grown up with, right? The respect, the honor, the way we carry ourselves and stuff. And you are someone that like you've done some amazing things for young people with limited resources. Let me put it that way. All right. So what would you say to a young person that's in Liberia right now watching this, and they want to do great things, but they are concerned about the resources that they have. How can they maximize the little that they have and make a great impact? And sort of like I think just to preface this is, I think most of the time when we see impact, we want the world to know it.
Yeah.
So what would you say to someone like that?
Long ago, an old man told me, use what you have to get what you want. So, if you want to make $1,000, what do you have now? I got no money. What else do you have? I don't have a house. Okay, what else do you have? I live with my parents. Okay, what else do you have? Do you have a backyard? Oh yeah, what's in the backyard? Nothing, just the grass growing there. Could you make a garden? Could you plant cabbage? Could you plant collard greens? That is the beginning towards $1,000. You don't need to have the money. And so a lot of us want to wait for the resources before we start. But where are you right now? What do you have right now? What do you have access to? And there's a lot of resources in Liberia. I must admit that the young people are not just the young people, a huge population in Liberia are denied access to the nation's wealth that they should have access to, but they do not lack access. Right? You have a lot of young people in Monrovia who are living in very deplorable conditions, who can probably only afford a one-time meal, living in a zinc shack, and when it's raining, they have to set continuous because the roof is leaking.
Right.
Have they thought of going back in the village? There's land in the village. Have they thought of going back and making farms? Look, young people, I mean, I'm not saying don't go to school. It's a good thing to go to school. I'm not saying don't get an education. It's a good thing to get an education. I'm not saying pack your bags now and leave Monrovia. No, it's better to live in Monrovia. I'm saying Monrovia is not Liberia.
Yeah.
There are more opportunities outside Monrovia than in Monrovia. Monrovia is so congested, it limits you. But if you went outside, if you're from Lofa now and went to Lofa and decided to make peanuts and make a farm for peanuts, look, there is money in that soil that you're probably not going to pay for the soil. You don't even need to buy a farmland if you go back to your village, right? You can live in the counties and do, but we need to know that we don't need the physical cash to get $1,000. You can start acquiring $1,000 by doing something very little, but with the mindset that I'm going to keep pushing until I get that $1,000, then you will get to $1,000.
Yeah.
But if you're going to wait until you get $500 to invest to get $1,000, you're never going to get the $500.
That's interesting. Like what I'm hearing you say as you're talking is basically, a lot of us have seeds in our hands, and we're waiting for cash to throw the seed in the ground.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Like you have pepper seeds in your hand, but you're waiting for somebody to give you cash.
Exactly.
To throw the seed in the ground.
It's like the two guys you talk about. Who one looked and saw the people walking barefoot. I was like, poor people.
Yeah.
Poor, wretched people. Another one said business opportunity.
Yep.
I can sell those guys slippers.
Yep. Literally. And,
you know what I'm saying?
And he literally became wealthy.
Exactly.
That.
Business opportunity, right? I can sell these guys slippers. If you go down in the market in red light and see, not even in red light, in red light, other places in Monrovia, and see they're importing pepper from Sierra Leone and Guinea, then you tell yourself, boy, is this how much we want pepper in this country?
Yeah.
Is this how much we need pepper? So if I grow pepper, will people buy it? Yes. If people can go to Sierra Leone and Guinea to buy pepper, if you grow pepper in Liberia, they will buy it right there.
Yeah.
Simple.
Simple. And I think like it all comes down to, again, like how you see things, right? Because when you grow up with a slavery mindset, you kind of see work like something that is evil,
Right.
because you've been working hard your entire life. So now we have to shift our mindset to a freedom mentality. And freedom comes with how you spell freedom is basically responsibility, right? Taking the responsibility. And I think like you have to find a need and then fill that need, right? You find that need and then fill it. And it's as simple as, hey, you have backyard, plant something there, right? You have, you have, and it's even like, okay, you have skills, right? Everyone is born with a talent.
Exactly.
Some may say, oh, I want to play soccer. That's great. But does the possibility of playing soccer, becoming like Ronaldo or Messi, is it possible in that environment? Right. So like you have the skills, you have everything, but you have to also see if your skills and the things that you have is gonna be productive, and if it has value to them.
Right.
Right. Because some of us, we have skills that don't have values, and they can be reproduced anywhere.
Yeah.
Right?
They could have values, but where you find
The
yourself,
need. Yeah,
there's no
doesn't
value.
need it. Right.
I was talking
Yeah.
to some folks saying it's like, we got great musicians in Liberia, right? And I'm saying, yeah. I mean, I for the first, not the first time, but quite recent, I can play Liberian music all by myself. I wasn't doing that before. I mean, sorry to say, but I wasn't doing that before.
Yeah.
The music wasn't great, but the music is becoming so good. And he said, but these kids don't make money. I'm like, unfortunately, we don't have a market in Liberia. Our population is now, because they were comparing Liberian musicians to Nigerian musicians. I said, do you know the population of Nigeria?
Right.
If 1 million Nigerian bought your music for just $1, you just made $1 million bucks. Look at the population in Liberia. So even though you're a great musician here in Liberia and you're not thriving, you're not making that money, yes, I'm not saying stop singing. I said look for other alternatives.
Yep.
There are other things you can do.
Yep. Yeah.
Right? There are other ways you can explore.
Yep.
Don't put yourself in the bubble and only see yourself in that bubble. Like that person with the microphone singing. If you're not singing, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Right? If you do not have a job to wear coat, suit, and necktie and sit in the office, what else can you do? And are there opportunities?
Yeah.
There are.
There are.
We just need to look for them.
Yeah.
We need to explore them. We need to be open-minded.
Yeah.
We need to see the world bigger than where we find ourselves. And until we see the world, and when I say the world, not the other countries, Liberia, the world, Liberia, and at large, because we're global. We're a global village now that we impact things happening universally.
Yeah.
Right? So until we see the world as a space that we can explore, we're just going to find ourselves there.
Yeah.
And trust me, I must say this, man. We got a lot of people who think they're, poor me, I tell you, nobody knows me. Nobody cares for me. And they do nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's true. I mean, if you don't see yourself as valuable, no one's gonna see you as valuable. If you, I think I would just say, in the world that we are in, the possibility of becoming who you were created to be is high, right? And you can change your life overnight. However, some overnight journey might be 10 years, it might be 5 years. And I think Most of us don't want to embrace the process, of going through that process. We want it to be quick. And yes, you may make money quick, but becoming successful is never overnight.
No,
Yeah.
it's a
Having
journey.
money, having money is fast,
It's a
but
journey.
success is a journey by
It's
itself.
a journey.
It's a never ending journey.
I've read stories of
Yeah.
people who made overnight riches and lost over and became
Yeah.
poor overnight.
Yeah.
So it's a journey. Whether you're going to be rich, whether you're going to be great and successful, whether you're going to be a person that the world knows your name, it's a journey.
Yeah.
And it all begins with you
Yeah. That's true.
and no one else.
That's true.
Yeah.
So guys, I mean, we just thought we share some of these things with you guys. The grass is never as greener on the other side than you think it is.
Until you get there.
Until you get there and see like they have they have trash and beggars and all of this stuff. So we, as you've heard, make the most of the resources that you have right now. And like, don't wait for other people to do things for you. I mean, I've learned so much today just from listening to H talk. It's like, just from his perspective and his mindset, and I'm pretty sure some of you may know him. So it's like, this is us coming to you and telling you, hey, it's possible. You don't necessarily have to be in the United States to do something. Like, be willing. I would say, just last words is, be willing to get your hands dirty, right? Look in places that people wouldn't normally look. If the office jobs are not working, if like, I personally, I believe that I am a creator, right? Because I was created in the image of someone that is a creator.
That is a creator. I like that.
So he put that ability within me, so that that's why he said, like, whatever you find your hands to do, your hands find to do, do it with all your might. Right. And there's one scripture that I really, really hold dear is, it says, I think it's King Solomon that said this. He said that, like, he said to sow your bread in the morning and in the evening. Right. And then he also says that sow your bread in diverse places, because you don't know which one will yield fruits.
Right. And it's like the old African saying that say, don't put your eggs all in one basket. If one basket falls and those break, you still got eggs.
Multiply, man. Put it everywhere. H, what last words do you have?
Well, I just want to say thanks for having this time, and to those of you who are listening. We're not experts here. We're just people who share our thoughts and our opinions on stuff. But I just want to let you know that you can be what you want to be. But it all depends on what you do and what you tell yourself you're able to do. But in all that you do as well, be prayerful, committed unto God, ask God for directions, ask Him for His guidance, and you will be amazed as to how much you are able to impact the world around you.
Mm-hmm. Well, folks, I don't think I can add anything to that. When the elders have spoken, you listen. So just leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, and reach out to us if you have any questions and things. If you need help with anything, I believe you can find H on Facebook, and stuff as well. You can contact him and seek some guidance. I think information is key, and if you have someone that is a resource, why not reach out to them and let them help you and stuff. So that's all we have for today. We've enjoyed sharing with you, and until next time, take care.
Have a nice one.